In this video, I want to talk about the outline of the method that I use to teach Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic to the military. And typically, the goal is working together for 1 month, and we want you to become conversational in Spanish in 1 month. Why? Because we don't have 3 years before deployment. That's my day job, is as a military linguist, and conversation in a month is the name of the game. If it's taking longer than that to become conversational, then you're doing something wrong. So in this video, I want to talk about the way to how to do it right. Okay. We begin. I want to basically draw the method for you. There's going to be a pyramid structure here. Thing one, the basis is structure. Okay, so what is the structure of language? Structure is how the language works. Okay, I break down structure into three categories: verbs, vocabulary, and useful expressions. Verbs are I am, I have, I like, I want, I went, whatever your verb is. From there, you mix and match the verb and the vocabulary. Section 2, right? Verbs, vocab, useful expressions. Verbs and vocabulary mix and match together. They go together like yin and yang. You can say, I am Tony. I'm from Chicago. Are you from? I like this. Do you like that? You can play a whole back and forth tennis game just asking questions and answers revolving around verbs and vocabulary. That's the structure. Useful expressions are okay, very good, nice. Interjections. Those three categories comprise structure. Now, most language learning and language teaching methods, they aim for that first level and they just stop there. I find maybe it's a little conversation practice, but apps, I mean, if you're not conversing with a person, then you're just aiming for structure. Like you're just trying to memorize enough verb, vocab, expressions, word order, syntax, da da da. You're trying to study the language, and that's not enough because just studying the language is not going to make you conversational in the language any more than studying boxing would make you a good in the ring, or like studying tennis would make you good. Like you can't learn tennis from an app from Wii. It's not the same. Uh, so where most methods stop, which is at structure, is where we just get started. Structure is the way the language works. What comes after that is how the language works for you. That's conversation. We use the structure to create conversation. So again, it's not just memorizing verbs and vocab and useless, but it's working them into a conversation where we can go back and forth like a tennis game or like a martial art, asking and answering questions, because that's conversation. Okay, so we do that from day one. We start creating this sort of cycle, little more structure, a little more conversation, a little more structure, a little more conversation, and you keep doing that until muscle memory kicks in, which is level sort of 3, right? Now this doesn't take a long this could happen this happens within a few minutes often. Like you can get something stuck in your head in a couple repetitions, and pretty soon you're this cycle of conversation and structure kicks in. Muscle memory kicks in. I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? I wish I could do it for you with you right now, but just try to imagine what that feels like, right? So I'm asking you things in Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic. You know what I'm asking you, answer with your verb and vocab. It's like a martial art game. Pretty soon you're able to do it through muscle memory. The final level, up on the top of the pyramid here, excuse my handwriting all the way through here, that's personality. Okay, I find that the ultimate level of language learning comes when the language becomes a vehicle for your self-expression in such a way that your personality comes through the language. So you start being like funny in the language. You start like being nice or mean or happy or sad, or like all of the feelings that you have find their expression through the second language. It's also interesting to note that often people who are bilingual or multilingual say that they feel that their personality is slightly different. I call it, you have your English speaking personality, or ESP, your Spanish speaking personality, your SSP, your Arabic ASP, and acronyms as such. For personality. So that's the top of the thing. Now, above that pyramid, there is a sun that shines down upon the whole thing. And I'm not even going to try to write that. That says listening practice or listening. Listening. It says listening. Can you see it? All right, it's listening. So what's listening? Why is listening the sun? Well, all of this happens inside of your personal pyramid. It happens inside of your mind. The pyramid's your mind and body. All of this happens inside, but listening happens from outside, right? Like I can practice thinking, practice speaking, right? Uh, but I can't control what other people say. So this is where people often say, "Oh, well, people speak too fast, and there's too many dialects, and I don't know what's going on in listenings and everything like that." Listening practice nourishes it nourishes your personal approach, right? Like you pick up a ton by listening. And it's worth noting that where do the rays of the sun, where do they touch first on your pyramid? They touch on personality, right? So when you listen to someone speak, it's like when you hang out with someone for a long time, or often in like a week, and all of a sudden you're talking like them. Other people's speaking rubs off on your personality. So by focusing on listening and the strategies of listening, which we would get into later, namely you're supposed to guess, not listen to every single word. That's the core thing of listening, is that people get hung up on listening for every word. It's not about listening for every word. It's about listening for keywords and then guessing the main point through the keyword. So that's its strategy. But the point here is just that that's the whole thing. And so listening shines down. It shines down on the whole thing. But it touches personality first. Okay, so that's the huge picture overview of what we're going for. Okay, so now imagine you have 30 days and you need to become conversational in Spanish, Portuguese, or any language, I guess, right? Begin at the beginning, at the bottom of the pyramid. Let me know how to say I couple of verbs, vocab, da da da, right? And then you just repeat the process in a certain way. There's more to it, like in terms of the specific routes that you can take. There's a whole, but this is the center, the core thing here. So anyway, I hope that makes sense, and I hope it gives you some inspiration to think that it actually is possible to become conversation in a language in a month. People often ask, how long does it take to learn a language? Well, it takes forever. You never stop learning. It's not like you just ever reach a day we go, I learned everything I need to know. However, what I can say is that conversational in a language is a matter of days, weeks, months, not years. If something's taking years, then you're definitely doing something wrong. And it might sound crazy, but a lot of people have studied Spanish all 4 years in high school, but never really became conversation, never learned to speak, right? I've been trying to study Spanish or whatever language off and on for over 10 years now, all right? Days, weeks, months, not years. That's the rule of thumb. I'm here because I've got the way to what I believe is the fastest way. If I thought there was a faster way, then I would do that. To go from zero to conversational in 1 month, and I'm here to tell you exactly how to do it. So leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, find my website, and send me a message. I will talk to you personally. I'm not a big I can't. Happy to talk to you personally on what you should do to become conversational in a language in 1 month. Thanks for watching.